me actually organize it from the electronic end to a large extent. I serve here as a lecturer in the English department as well as run the debate program. And I'd like to start by thanking you all for coming here. I know that it's very difficult, especially for people who teach towards the end of the semester, to take time out of your schedule to come to the conference, and I really appreciate for you taking the time and coming here. I would also like to thank Zach Richter, who's one of the people who got me researching things like disability studies. He's someone who I encountered in the debate community as an undergraduate and sort of stands testament to how teachers and instructors could learn from their students, because he's the first one who sort of pushed me while into critical animal studies to research how it sort of intersects with other forms of critical studies as well. And I'd also like to thank Rob Glass, who's a former student of mine and was running around doing all the errands with me yesterday when we just asked for a place to stay. He was then hijacked to do everything else with me as well. For anyone who needs a bathroom, they're just right out the door down the hallway, and anyone who wants to see the sunlight, which is an oddity and rarity for Binghamton, you can go out there and take a couple of seconds to enjoy that as well. And then there's also refreshments in the back for anybody who wants refreshments or anything along those lines. So this is the first annual conference for Engaging Eco-Ability, which is exciting, put on by the Institute of Critical Animal Studies North America. And what the conference is set to do is sort of explore the intersection between disability studies, critical animal studies, as well as identity politics, and sort of approach it from an intersectional standpoint, because one of our beliefs is that you cannot evaluate things like social justice or how power structures work without looking at the intersection of power relations, opposed to just sort of trying to provide a single site of analysis. And that's one of the things that I think that distinguishes this conference from some other conferences that exist, because instead of trying to say that there is a single type of oppression that's at the root of all other forms of oppression, it really looks at sort of how oppressions interlink with one another and sort of build off of each other, so that way we need to have diverse tactics in order to actually be able to tackle, hegemonic power structures and things like that. And so being able to approach things from an intersectional standpoint allows for better coalition building, in my belief, because it means that instead of trying to say that my struggle is more important than your struggle, because this is really a worse form of discrimination, it looks for trying to build commonalities and coalitions between diverse struggles in order to help to productively move forward, so that way we're not stuck saying that we're at the root cause, but recognize how everything is linked together, and how there are many roots that come together to form sort of overarching structures of oppression. There'll be lunch that will be served after the second panel, so that way you can all be fed in a vegan, healthy way, and then simultaneously get right back to it. So after that, I'd like to introduce the other person who helped organize it, which is Dr. Anthony Nostala, who is a visiting professor at Hamline University, who's going to just sort of give a background of how the eco-ability movement came into existence and sort of where it moved on from there, and then we'll get to the first panel thereafter. So give him a welcome.
Cool.